Welcome. I'm Jan Roncelli, the Bloomfield Township Clerk, and this is At Your Service. We have a great show today with two great guests, all about the Oakland County Ladies of Charity and the Pantry and Clothes Closet that is nearby in the city of Bloomfield Hills being hosted. I have two great guests today, Charlene Kreupser and Kay Brown, and I'd like to welcome them to the show.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Charlene, we're going to start with you because you have all the facts about the Pantry and Clothes Closet that's located on the grounds of St. Hugo.
Correct.
They let you use the building and such, right? Mm-hmm. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that particular entity?
Okay. We are housed in the maintenance garage at St. Hugo's of the Hills, and we are a closed closet food pantry that meets the emergency needs for people in Oakland County, and those needs are determined by the caseworkers at local social service agencies. So we are a group of about 100 volunteers. We're all volunteers.
Are you all women?
No, we're not. We have some men.
You have some men
in the
okay.
Ladies of Charity, and they're really helpful because they do a lot of the heavy lifting of the cases of food that we get in and run up the ladder to the lofts and things like that for us. So, and they're just a lot of fun to have with us.
So you contact social workers, or the agencies contact
Right.
you?
They contact us, so they know their client and what their needs are, and we can provide emergency food, clothing, or small household goods for them. So they'll put an order in for their client. We have crews who pack orders 4 days a week. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're open for the public to come with donations and for the caseworkers to pick up their orders. Then the other days, we have 2 evening crews, and we have a Thursday crew. They do a lot of the behind the scenes, organizing, cleaning, and packing orders if we need.
So you have all these supplies in this warehouse facility?
We do. We have supplies. So it looks, if you walk into the pantry, you would think you were in a little store. We have an infant and toddler aisle, a girls aisle, a boys aisle,
Really?
women's aisles, men's aisles, and the food pantry. And then we have storage shelving for when we pack these orders. They're stored on shelves. When the caseworker comes in, tells us the agency, we go right to that shelf and get their bags.
Their carry-out,
boxes
so
for
to
carry-out.
So are you in competition with the Salvation Army, for instance?
Well, no.
No?
Maybe for donations. That's our biggest challenge, is to manage our inventory with donations and have enough so that we have enough for outgoing orders. But we do work closely with the St. Vincent de Paul Society, so we receive donations of clothing or shoes or household items. And if it's items that we know immediately that our clients will use, we keep them. If they're items that are still serviceable and good, but we know that we wouldn't get a request for them, for instance, a mink coat, something like that, we would we would either send it to St. Vincent de Paul Society, and they come 2 days a week and pick up the bags of donations that we are not able to use. We're very limited by our storage.
I was going to ask, yeah, you probably
so
are.
a lot of the donations that come in, we probably could use if we had more storage. So the department heads, and there's a department head for each of the aisles, will manage that inventory. So if something good comes in and we've had something sit on the shelf we haven't had a need for, an extra shirt or coat, they may take that newer coat, put that on the shelf, and fill the orders.
So what is your role?
So I am the director of this.
You're the director.
I try to keep the pantry going. So I just tell the people who are there, the crews, we have a desk leader every day, we have order fillers, we have sorters. I keep the building running for them. So I make sure our bills are paid and things are going, but everybody comes.
Is this all volunteer?
It's all volunteers.
What a wonderful thing that you do.
They have
so when we think of the economy and how well it is today, and that the jobless rate is down, it's hard to think about people who are needy, particularly in Oakland County, but there are needy people all over the United States, and there are needy people here in Oakland County. My friend's neighbors, their house burned down 2 weeks ago, and they were left with only the clothes on their back. And one of my friends was helping put together a neighborhood events so everybody could donate something to them. They had nothing.
Sure.
You know, and you don't think about that, how that's handled. What would you do in that situation?
Right.
And in this case, they could contact you or contact, I suppose they might assign a caseworker to them
Yes.
to help them out, you know.
We work directly with the agencies and their caseworkers, so they know the needs of the people, they've vetted the people, they know exactly what they need to do to help them. But we do get cases where we have the burnout of a house. We get a lot of people who have been living on the streets and finally have been able, with the improvement in the economy, to get a job and to get an apartment.
That's wonderful.
And they have nothing.
They have nothing, so you can.
Right.
So how do you get the? So the caseworker comes to get the merchandise. You don't deliver it.
No, the caseworker has to come and pick it up and takes it to their client.
Okay. And when you say pantry, Charlene, what kinds of foods do you have? Canned foods?
We have canned foods. Unfortunately, we don't have any refrigeration or freezer, so we have to use shelf-stable foods.
That would make
which
sense.
are canned. But you know, there's shelf-stable milk, so we try to give them a good balanced diet of food. Understanding it's canned food, so there's sodium, and so if they have special dietary needs, though, we will try to find the food on our shelves that work with that. But we always have peanut butter, tuna, the staples, ravioli, a beef stew, milk, fruit, vegetables, soups. And so we service some people who are homeless too.
Do you?
For that. So those
And live
bags
in the
we always
shelters and such.
We look for the cans that have the pull lids and tops for them.
I was just thinking, how do they get them open?
Right,
But if
right.
they have that pulled lid,
Right.
you know.
And we purchase can openers, so we always try to give a family a can opener if we know that that's something they need. So it's dependent though upon our donations. So we always purchase underwear, new blankets, new sheets if possible, and food. We do a lot of our purchasing of our food. But we rely on donations of the household good orders. We rely on organizations in the community to do a food drive, canned food drive for us, and we use that food.
So you reach out all over. You
try
reach
to,
out for
right,
all of this,
right,
you know, and people
right.
people assist you.
Yes, right.
Wow.
And you know, there's never not a need to reach out to other people. I really like reaching out to school groups and educating the young students on the need in the community and how just a simple
them aware.
can of food can make a difference for
So
someone.
how many in this location, it's in the city of Bloomfield Hills
Yes.
where you're located, but where are your clients coming from? All over Oakland County?
All over Oakland County.
All over
The
Oakland
majority
County.
are in the Pontiac area. Many of our agencies work with people in the Pontiac area. We service one organization that's strictly Pontiac area, and they help the people get the home, the housing, the rent, and then they come to us for clothing and food to help the people once they get into the house.
That is a wonderful organization.
It is.
And it's one. How many people do you have as volunteers?
So at the Food Closet, we'll have within probably a week's time 100 people in and out volunteering. The Ladies of Charity organization is about 300 members. So, and we also will have sometimes a student. We had a student high school student wanted community hours. So she's been with us a few times that comes in and helps out too. So it's a great place. Everybody has fun. It's tight quarters, so we always say if you're not bumping into somebody, you're probably not working hard enough because the aisles are so close.
Your aisles are too close together, huh? So they're bumping into each other. So the Ladies of Charity, how does that fit in with the pantry and the clothes closet?
So the Ladies of Charities Executive Board sponsors the pantry. They set the budget for us. They give us the budget to use, and then we take the orders from them and work with them. Members of the board are in our organization. We do other things. We help with some of the board's projects when they work with a dinner at Mary's Mantle. We will fix a bag of items for the moms at Mary's Mantle. So we might give them the purses, a new outfit, some shoes. So anything that comes into our pantry, we use. So we use it, give it to our clients, we give it to St. Vincent de Paul. If they're really nice items, one way of getting funds for us is we'll sell things on eBay. And or we have some
Internet
nice things,
savvy.
or we go to
Okay.
the consignment shops in the area,
Do you?
and they will sell it, and then the funds come back to us to purchase the underwear and the blankets that we need.
Wow. Well, you want clean underwear, right?
Yes.
And it's always
Right.
new, and isn't
It's
that
new.
great?
Yeah.
I thought of that completely. So, Kay, how do you fit in with the pantry and clothing closet?
I guess that I'm just a longtime member of Ladies of Charity, and my example really, Jan, started with my mother. My mother was a member as soon as she graduated from a nursing school in Saginaw, because the Sisters of Charity were the sisters that ran
Okay.
it. And you automatically kind of became a member of Ladies of Charity. It's a group that was started way back in 1617 in Paris, France.
That is way back.
You know, and of course it was going on in France for years and years, and it didn't come to the United States until probably a little over 100 years ago. But Oakland County, where we are, was just within the last 55 years that we started. And if you are interested,
Have you been a member that 55 years?
Yes, I've been a member, not
Wonderful.
quite, but 44 years.
44 years.
44
Okay.
years. So the example came from my mother, and she belonged to the Detroit chapter. See, so way before Oakland County, there was always a Ladies of Charity. And they did all kinds of things for the children who lived at Sarah Fisher. They took care of their tuition so they could go to the private schools. They did all their mending. They did all their labeling. And if you know the history of Sarah Fisher at 12 Mile and Inkster, there were little
Somewhat.
cabins in the group, and it wasn't so much in the old days. People think of it as an orphanage. It was really a place where families would send their children who were going through terrible times, whether it was a death of a member, like a mother and a father didn't quite know what to do, or there was mental illness, a lot of things. Well, anyways, that was
safe haven
That's
for
where they
them.
stayed. So those women did a lot of things. So I took my mother to the board meetings. She said when she left Detroit, because Detroit group was closing down because of age, she wanted to join the Oakland County. So I would take her to the Sarah Fisher home for meetings once a month, and then I got involved in
got
it because
involved.
of watching.
Were
what
you
they
in
were
college
doing.
or you were
No, I
graduating?
was a mother of 6 at the time.
A mother of 6. Wow.
But you know what? You always could find time. And in those days, the board meetings would be at my house, because Janet was easier to stay at my house
And
with
watch all those
preschoolers and have the meetings. And that's a lot of it. But I'm proud to say that I have daughters in the organization. I have a daughter-in-law in the organization. So we're carrying on the tradition of
Generations,
the Ladies of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul, which makes me very, very happy. So being a board member, I have all this history, and so like darling Charlene, she needs to hit history, because more of these people today are current, but they haven't got the knowledge of what I used to do. So my purpose to be here today, Jan, is to really bring you up to date, and the Ladies in Charity people that are listening to us today, hopefully, would like to hear about some of the other things that we do.
In addition to the
besides
pantry and
this
the clothes
wonderful
closet.
thing that we do at the clothes closet. And before I start, I just wanted to ask Charlene this question. Charlene, I loved it when you bring in the school kids to help. I think if you just mention that before I go forward, I love it when you bring in kids from schools to come and help you and what they learn. I love that.
They do. We had, for instance, we pack Easter meals for 124 families this year, which impacted 500 people in
Wow.
4 different organizations. So that's an extra expense on our budget. So St. Hugo's of the Hills, 8th graders collected all the Jell-O boxes we needed. Everest Academy in Clarkston came down and helped stage all of our setup for us. And then Marist Academy collected jelly beans bags. So as we talk with the students about why this is so important, it doesn't seem much, a bag of jelly beans or a box of Jell-O.
But you make them realize
But
others don't
there's
have
people,
that.
and there's people out there that are now struggling. They have jobs, they meet their bills, but then an unexpected expense comes along, and they pay what they need to, the housing, the rent, the medical expenses. And I had a caseworker share with me, a family had $5 left over for food for the month. So when we talked with the students about this and say,
They're shocked.
it's not far from here,
Right.
that you could make a difference. So, and we love it when the high schoolers run food drives for us in their schools. because then that saves our budget too.
It saves your budget, but
Right.
it exposes
Right.
them to another part of life
Exactly.
that they're not used to.
Exactly. The box of cereal that you go to your cupboard and pull out, that's great. Some people don't have that opportunity. But if you donate a box of cereal, we can give a family a box of cereal.
I just think that's, and we get new members that way.
Yes.
Oh,
We
sure.
get new
That's what I'm
members that,
hoping.
once you're involved with the Ladies of Charity,
You're in for
always,
life,
You're
right?
in for
You're in
life.
for life.
It's
You're in
just
for
like
life.
jail, you're there.
No, we have a lot of fun.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, the thing that I like to talk about too is that there are spiritual benefits in being a member of the Ladies of Charity. For instance, once a month on the first Monday of the month, the Mass at St. Hugo's, which is in the chapel of the faculty there, is in honor of the members who have passed away.
Of the Ladies of Charity.
So you always know that, you're going to be remembered. And I think spiritually that's pretty nice to know by the other members. And also, we do a retreat once a year at Manresa. It's just a day retreat for the Ladies of Charity. And that's another spiritual benefit that a lot of organizations don't realize that we have that, because I'm pretty proud of that. But I was just going to mention a couple of things that we do in addition to the wonderful work that Charlene does. For instance,
I don't know where you have time, but go ahead. Go ahead, Kay.
every Thanksgiving time we run a turkey drive, and we run that by a member, by the way, whose mother had served on my board when I first started with the Ladies of Charity in 1974. Anyway, the turkey drive is that you either provide a turkey, it can be cooked or frozen, and then we take it to the parking lot at Our Lady Queen of Martyrs, and it's delivered to the Mancham Kitchen, which is used to be, if you're familiar with St. Vincent de Paul Parish, called St. Damian's now.
No.
Okay, it's in Pontiac. They're delivered there. Now, those turkeys are put in the freezers there, and so they're used all year long.
Not just for
Not
Thanksgiving.
just for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I just want people to know that. We do the same thing at Easter time with hams.
Do you?
So that's in addition, has nothing to do with the closed closet per se.
So let me ask you here, Kay. I had a gentleman work for me years ago, and I gave turkeys. I gave actual turkeys to them, and he said, "I can't use this, Jan. I don't have an oven."
That's right.
And I was shocked. I mean, it was an eye-opener. He had nowhere to cook it. He said, "Well, I'll take it. I can take it to my mom's, or I can take it to my girl." And you just take for granted what you have, and you don't know.
Same thing. 25 years ago, we were doing this from Brother Rice, and it came up to our attention that how could we give all these things for this Thanksgiving dinner without a container to cook it in? So we had to get the tins so that you could get the turkey in it to roast it. I mean, there's so many things
that you don't even,
we just take so much for granted. Another great program that we have is that we furnish First Communion prayer books, Bibles, rosaries, for over 450 children in the inner city as well as Pontiac. It's called our First Communion program, and we do a beautiful outreach, and that's every year. And a person in charge puts that together, does the shopping, the wrapping, and the distributing, and that's a very wonderful
I think I don't know if I still have my First Communion book, but
I
they were
hope
all
you
that
do.
mother of pearl
I
cover.
hope
They
you
probably
have
are
it.
this. They were so
Well, you're lucky
so beautiful.
if you have it. You're lucky.
I don't think I still do, but it was my pride and joy as a little girl.
And then another wonderful thing, Jan, is we help a group called Mary's Children, and I have to think that it's 25 years old now, but it was for close head injured people who are in wheelchairs and cannot speak. And that is housed in the old convent at Guardian Angels in Clawson. Two of my friends designed that program because they had children with brain injuries. It could be from birth, it could be from a car accident. They're totally incapacitated. So we do a program there a couple times a year. We have parties, and we're going to be doing a mate crowning for them on the 17th of the month. And when I say we're going to do it, a few members of the Ladies of Charity will be joining me, and these patients that we'll see will be unable to sing the songs, but they enjoy
Hearing
new
you.
voices,
Yeah,
new
hearing you do
voices,
that.
new things. We'll also be giving them little presents, and we do a party there at least a couple times a year, and maybe more sometimes.
You have other children come with you for that?
I try to, but it's mostly adults, and I'll
Adults,
tell you why, because you have to pray before you go in, Jan.
Oh,
pray.
we have the Wing Lake School here
Yeah,
in the
because
township that takes
that's okay,
handles
then
all
you
of
know.
that. Yes,
You're,
and it's,
you're very well aware.
You're very humble.
Some people have a hard time with it. Even adults sometimes
Yes.
can't do because
Very difficult.
you're
You
not
just-
getting any response.
Your heart goes out.
So
you know.
it's something special, you know.
Are you
And-
doing anything for the mothers for Mother's Day?
Well,
Do you have any programs for that?
Well, I don't have a particular program, but if you think about it, Mary's Mantle would probably be something we did a little early. Mary's Mantle is a home, Jan, for young women who perhaps have had their children, babies, or expecting, and they haven't been able to really be a mother, know how to interview for a job, get a GED. They're in a transition period, but they need a lot of help. Well, we've taken that on, and just most recently, when Charlene was talking about that, we had a wonderful dinner, and we invited all the mothers that had gone through the program in the last 5 years, because this program is a follow-through. We just don't help, and the girl goes on. It's 5 years of follow-through.
They don't live there. They just
They have
go
a
there
house.
for the.
We have a house.
And they
We have a
live
house,
there?
and it's called Mary's Mantle, Mantel. I sell Christmas cards for them and cards throughout the year, and I help with the tea. I help with their annual tea. Okay, besides that, you know, one time you had us here, we had a gal representing the blanket group. There's terrific little cells that do this every month. They meet in their homes, and they make those easy to make blankets, you know, that you put the fringe on, and they go to the hospitals with those. They go to people at home who are ailing. And
Those blankets are so nice to
you know,
have,
they're
you
just
know.
wonderful.
Their warmth, their color,
Right.
they're personal.
And they really, these women, we kind of call them the unsung heroes, because you don't really see them. They're doing their little work in their home. So you don't have to go to the clothes closet. You don't have to be a board member, but you could still be doing all of the things that I'm mentioning to you. Of course, I'd like to talk about the Christmas work, because that's how the Ladies of Charity started, was doing
Christmas.
the Christmas work. And in the old days, St.
Sounds
Wal-
like you make it Christmas for them as much as possible
Yes.
all year round,
Oh, yes.
especially for the
Right.
very needy.
Right. And I think we had about 250 families that we did this Christmas, and that's not the same as what we're doing at the Clothes Closet. This is another program, and it was talked about. Maybe there was a not as much of a need anymore to do the Christmas program, and it was brought to my attention, and it was, you know what, that's what we're famous for, was our Christmas work.
So are you using the same volunteers that Charlene is?
Oh, not necessarily.
No.
No, not at all,
No.
in fact.
How
I have
many
another girl-
members are there of the Ladies of Charity of Oakland County?
Well, there are a little over 300.
300, and you're using about
We use about 100.
100.
And so the Christmas program, again, is an outreach. For instance, we use the facilities at St. Hugo's for a whole week, which is very generous when you think it's early December and they have so much going on. We pack that whole week. And the track team, or is it the soccer team, I'm trying to think, from Bloomfield High School comes over and puts all the boxes together.
Isn't
It's
that
their
nice?
yearly
It's their
thing.
packing
and they
party,
love
huh?
it. And of course, boxes are all uniform. They're all the same, I mean, in the sizes.
You have like a production line, and
Oh,
they put
you
one of
should
each.
see it. You should come and see it. You would die if you
Reminds me
saw.
of the packing parties I've been to for the military.
That's
It
exactly.
reminds you of that. It reminds you of that. We have so many children involved in that program, St. Hugo's, Everest Academy, Bloomfield Hills High School, that it makes it really important, again, to show you them firsthand. And then we have a toy deal on that deal, which is in addition to the food. And the toys are collected from various schools if we are lucky enough, and then we have a budget, and we also purchase a lot. And I'm just saying that probably for Christmas it was around $25,000 or $26,000 that we spent from the Ladies of Charity, all by donations. Because everybody that gets a letter from the organization is asked if you'd like to contribute. Well, when they see what's happening, when we can give a report of what we do in 1 year, it's hard to say no to us. It's hard to say no, I can't send you.
What impresses me is all the contacts you have through all these various public schools, parochial schools, all to the different agencies, and you never seem to be without volunteers and events and people helping to support those events. That's a lot of organization.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot. And we're looking for new members all the time, Jan, because
You'd be great running political campaigns.
No,
you know,
I'd love to tell you, we would love new members, and we are doing an outreach to parishes, hoping that maybe someone would watch the show today and say, I'm from St. Louis de Marlac, I would love to be a member of the Ladies of Charity. How do I go about it? Mia Maturka is our membership person.
and that's how Mia Maturka is a township resident and part of this organization. And it's interesting that these members, your volunteers, are from all over Oakland County.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
different faiths too.
I was
It's
just
not
going
the
to ask if
Catholic
you're
faith.
interfaith.
Yes, we're
right?
interfaith. Mhm.
That's good because you don't care with the clients. You don't. I mean, they're just people that are needy.
And we have
And any faith member that wants to join or help out is
this
welcome.
past weekend, 2 of the local churches, this is the Presbyterian Church and a Unitarian Church, had their rummage sales, their annual rummage sales, and invite us in at the last day to come in, and we could take whatever we wanted from.
That's a
the
great
surplus.
idea, whatever's left over,
So it's a
right?
win-win for all of us.
It
you know?
is. Well, your contacts are amazing. We are almost out of time, and I wanted to kind of wrap up. What's the one thing you'd like to leave us with, Kay, that they could join the Ladies of Charity?
I would love that. I would love to let them know that they could join the Ladies of Charity, and it's a very simple thing. We don't ask. You don't have to go through a waiting period. We don't make you do anything but just sign your name and send your dues for $25. And if you're interested, I think probably they should contact you through this show, and then we would take their names if they contacted you.
Is that a brochure that
Yes,
you have?
that's an entrance into it.
That's a brochure, okay.
And lastly, I would like to tell you that come June 14th, the Ladies of Charity are having a wonderful event at the Father Solanus Center, and we're going to do a tour, and we're going to do the history of Father Solanus and a luncheon. And what's really cute, Jan, is at the end of the day, we will have on our tables, which is going to be very informal, we're going to have grocery bags, big grocery bags. And the grocery bags are going to be gifts from the Ladies of Charity to remain
nice.
at their soup kitchen downtown.
We have to wrap up. Charlene, is there anything else you want to say real quickly?
Sure. I would just say, remember that we're here in the community. We need your help. Come bring your talents. Last year we packed 14,000 plus orders that served 8,500 people.
Well, those 8,500 people, I'm sure, are extremely grateful to you, and I'm certainly pleased that you came to tell us a little bit more of what goes on here with the Ladies of Charity in Oakland County and how close it is to us and how we can
exactly.
help.
Great.
I want to thank you for being here and taking the time, and I'm really interested in this Father Solanus. As I said, I hope he becomes a saint before I die. And all the wonderful things you do, like with Mary's Mantle and such. It's been a pleasure to have you on board. And I look forward to seeing more of your events, and wish you well in getting more volunteers and
Thank you.
continuing this organization. Thanks for being a guest.
Thank you so
Jan.
much for having us.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.